Hello everybody, and welcome to the High Performance Garden Show. This is week 33, so today I'm going to take the garden out. This is our final show of this series, and the reason I'm going to take the whole garden out right now is just to demonstrate for you how to do that. But you could take your garden out any way that you want to. You could do warm weather first, you could do the cool weather plants, kind of any way you want to. So anyways, today, whole thing for us. So we're going to go ahead and put the whole garden to bed for the winter, and we're going to harvest all the crops and see if we've grown enough vegetables to win our challenge of growing 10 times the cost of the Abundance Garden course in just one season. So the course is $299, so we're aiming for $2,990 worth of food in only 33 weeks in only 128 square feet. So we had a big challenge that we've put before ourselves. So anyways, we got a lot to do. I'm going to get started, and we're going to start right here in the tomatoes. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and harvest all the tomatoes. And we're taking everything today. Doesn't matter what color it is. The blushing tomatoes, we can go ahead and ripen on the countertop and eat those as they ripen. And the green tomatoes, I think I'm going to pickle those. You can use your pickle recipe, and they're actually really good pickled. Or you can make fried green tomatoes. You just slice them and bread them and fry them. And my mother-in-law, she used to make apple pie out of them. I'm not exactly sure how that worked. I think she sliced them, went ahead and put the sugar and the cinnamon, put it in a pie crust, and cooked it. So there you go, 3 options for your green tomatoes. You can make apple pie, pickles, or fry them. Okay, tomato harvest. This basket's pretty full. This is really heavy. I bet there's about 15 pounds there. And then we have the cherries and a few other ones, probably another 4 or 5 pounds maybe. So yeah, close to 20 pounds of tomatoes. That's really good. Oh, and there's another little guy. We'll take that. Okay, the next thing I want to do on the tomatoes is I want to take the clips off. I want to leave the top one on until I'm actually ready to pull the plant down. It's just easier to take the clips off if the plant's not laying on top of you. So we'll take all the clips off except that top one, and then take it off as soon as we get all the other clips off. And these clips, you can wash them and reuse them again. You don't have to wash them unless you've had some disease in your plants, but you know, if you're not sure, just a little bleach water, and they'll be sterilized, ready to go again. You can also do the same thing with your strings. You can reuse them if you want to, and if you're worried about disease, go ahead and just wash them in a little bleach water as well. Okay, off come the clips. Okay, got our clips off except the top one, and we're going to go ahead and take the top one off, and then see that cuts the plant loose. Unless it's tangled in your string, of course. And follow that one all the way around. It actually is the one in the corner over here. Pull up that root ball. And I got one more clip stuck. It was down in the soil. So get it off, and now we can have the strings. See there? The strings, I like to just roll them up around my fingers. And then I'm going to put the clip on it, and that's how I store my strings. Okay. Okay, once you get that rolled up, then you just put the clip on the whole thing. And it keeps it from being tangled. It's a pretty good way of storing them. That can go in our clip bucket. And we got my pruners, because this is the base that is actually both plants, the sucker and the main stalk. Because remember, we kept that sucker. I was just kind of curious how long this one was. It is, hey, let go. I'd say this one's about 8 to 10 feet. In the greenhouse we can grow them a little bit longer, and they end up about 15 to 17 feet long. Now, these are nightshade family, and do not feed these to your chickens. And if you're going to put them in your compost, you can cut these up into sections. The smaller you cut your compost, the better it'll be. So I think I'd rather compost that. I say don't feed it to your birds. I probably wouldn't feed it to my pigs either. I don't think it's good for them either. Okay, next one. It's this little guy. Okay, that looks really good. And we'll come back and revisit this in a little while. Okay, next is our turnips. And we have lots of turnips today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and harvest the turnips. And then I'm going to take the root balls and I'm going to store them in sawdust in my root cellar. If you don't have a root cellar, you can store them in your refrigerator. Someplace you want to be pretty cold, under 50 degrees. And then I'll take all the tops and I'll go ahead and blanch those or lightly saute them. And then I will put them in the freezer and eat those all winter. So nothing goes to waste here. And it only takes me a few minutes to get everything processed. So lots and lots of turnips. We did a good job regrowing this crop. Okay, turnips. We got one basket and we got a second basket. So this is a lot of food, so my job is to go ahead and get that preserved so we can eat on that all winter. Won't be very hard, so we will do that. Okay, we're going to leave this until we get to the very end and we'll put the bed to bed. So we're going to start on the cucumbers, and there was some already out here in the turnips. And we're going to harvest everything today, big or small, it all comes off. So. The really little cucumbers, I like to make pickles out of them, and then we eat them on holidays. I call them my holiday pickles. Okay, here's our cucumber harvest. It's heavy. There's about 15 pounds here, a little bit better. Even took the little guys, even the really, really little guys, even the guys that are just this big. If you want to make what's called fresh pickles, if you go to our website, there's a recipe called the dill crock, and you could put turnips, green beans, green tomatoes, cucumbers. You can even put carrots, any firm vegetable, and you can put them in the dill crock. The dill crock then cooks in the closet for a few days, and then it goes in your fridge, and you just eat it fresh right out of the jar. It is amazing. So go to the website, look for the dill crock recipe, and then all your little pieces you can put in a dill crock. And oh man, I grew up on a dill crock, so they're really good. Okay, so there's our cucumbers. Now we want to take the vines down. Same thing again, we want to go through and see if we can find all the clips. They're a little harder to find on the cucumbers, but we will work our way through them. Leave the top one on to hold the plant up while you scour the vines for clips. Okay, we got all the clips off. I put my gloves on because these really scratch me. And then I'm just going to start cutting pieces of vine and just kind of removing material here. These can go to your chickens. They can go to your compost pile. If you're going to go to the compost pile, you might want to cut them into like 1-foot sections just to help them compost better. Okay. Okay, here we are at the last cucumber. Pull this roots up. Take the clip off. And look at there, carrots. Something you haven't seen all season. Between the cucumbers and the squash, they've been hard to see, but they've been growing. They're getting kind of big too. Some of them look huge. Can't wait to dig those up. I think we'll get the zucchini first, then we'll come around and get the carrots. Okay, we want to save all our strings so we don't have to spend money on the garden next year. Let's see, I got my bucket of strings and clips. And we'll get the end of this out. And I got a whole big bucket of compost. So this, the compost, is the start of next year's garden. So we'll compost that down and then we'll use that to feed the garden next year. Okay, cucumbers out. Oh, there's one little stub here. Okay. All right, move on down to the zucchini. And today we want to take off all the fruit. There's no sense in leaving any. Have not seen any squash bugs, so I think we're in the clear. Zucchini plants can go to the chickens. They can also go in the compost pile. Pigs like them if you have any pigs at home. And feed them to your pigs. There's all kinds of zucchinis down here. This thing was ready for round 3, wasn't it? That's right. Now, these little guys, they can go in your dill crock. I think you ought to try the dill crock. So much fun. Okay. Any more on there? Oh, there's a little one over here. I could go in the dill crock. Yum. It's my sister's favorite food. Anything that comes out of the dill crock. Okay, lots of little zucchinis today. These things do cycle just a little bit. And this big guy's hanging over the edge. We're having a really nice harvest, aren't we? And they keep it coming and a coming. Yay, zucchinis. I'll make some more noodles before they're all done. And then the excess I will just chop up into little pieces, blanch them, freeze them, and eat them all winter, or as far as they go into the winter. Wow, look at this strange zucchini. It's the wrong shape, it's the wrong color. Oh, it's not a zucchini. It's a butternut. It grew from clear over there, so we'll save it for the butternuts. But anyways, fun stuff, good stuff. Okay, another zucchini. Come here, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna look, see if there's any more. Nope, that's it. Okay. Well, we got a nice basket full. Looky there. It's pretty good for our last day. Okay, now comes the hard part. Oh, and don't forget your party jar. You want to take that home, clean it out, maybe scrub it, bleach it, and then bring it back for next year because we may need it. So we want to save our party jar. All right, let's see if these will come out. Oh yeah. Well, that was easier than I thought. So still, as I'm tossing this away, I'm still looking for bugs. You always want to keep a lookout. You know, look, this is our chance to look at the back sides. Wow, it's raining. Okay. So, zucchini plants can go to the chickens. They can also go in the compost. Oh, and I found a couple treasures. There's a couple of my tags. I'm going to save those. Now your tags, if you write on them with pencil, you can just erase it and go again. And the pencil will stay on all season. If you write on them with pen or even Sharpie, they will fade throughout the summer and you won't know what your tags say. A lot of times I like to keep the tags And so I have the planting date so I can look back. Alrighty, got the zucchinis out. You just pull out a little material here, and voila. That one's just about ready to plant again, isn't it? Almost. Okay. I'll let that fit in there. There's one nice bucket of compost. Ooh, and it's heavy too. Okay, next is our carrots. I'm going to need a couple baskets for that. And this time I brought along my little shovel because sometimes they're a little hard to dig when they're really, really deep. So I just want to dig along beside the carrot. Whoops, hey, what are you doing? Carrot's growing sideways. I put my shovel through it. See, here's the tip. Was not expecting that. Okay. So dig away the side. Oh man, look at that beauty. So when I grip the carrot to pull it, I'm actually gripping here and not just pulling it by the top, because that makes the top break off. So you want to grip it here and pull by the orange part, or purple or white or whatever color your carrots happen to be. We were digging our main crop of carrots. We do about 1,700 pounds a year, and we had a purple one, and everybody's like, whoa, oh, isn't that beautiful? Here is the rest of the sideways piece that was attached right here, and then this was attached right here. Now you can see why I cut that with the shovel. Kind of a strange deal. But that is a beautiful carrot. Okay, so once I got one carrot, two carrots loose, then I can kind of work my way sideways through them, but I have my shovel here just in case I need it. Wiggling, wiggling. Come on, baby. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. That's like 3 carrots in one. Look at that beauty. That's going to be a great meal. Now, what I'm going to do with some of my carrots is I'm going to take them and I'm going to shred them, with the shredder, and then I'm going to freeze them in little packets. And then I take the shredded carrots and I fry them in like olive oil, just like a hash brown. And I eat those for breakfast, and they are so, so good. So if you've never had fried carrots, shred a few and make hash browns out of them. You'll be very pleased. And they go in the freezer just beautifully. Or I can root cellar them. I might put them in the root cellar. That's what we do with our main crop, is they go into the big tubs like this. And we can get about 50 pounds in a tub packed in sawdust. So we use the sawdust to keep them from touching each other. And then we put the carrots in the root cellar, and we can eat on them clear until May. It's just fabulous. Okay, out they come. Okay, we're going to get the last of these carrots up. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And some of these things are humongous. That's going to be some good eating, and a lot of it. Okay, moving right along. All right, we got the big guy. There he is. I think that's the biggest one in the batch. Look at him. Beautiful. Okay, so one of the questions that I get a lot of times is, how do I know what carrot to store and what carrot to eat right away? So this is how we do it. So anything like this one, see we broke the tip off. This one would be a eat right away carrot, or shred it, put it in the freezer carrot. Because this is an open wound now, and it can start rotting from here all the way up. You know the saying, one rotten apple spoils a whole barrel? Same thing on the carrots. If we put in one carrot and it starts to rot, it rots the whole barrel. So we can lose 50 pounds of carrots just by putting in one that's not solid. The other thing is, like this one, it had a little bit of rot going on the side. This one I would just clean it up and then shred it, go ahead and put it in the freezer. So We don't have to throw it away. We just use it right away. Now, the ones that I'm going to put in the root cellar, let's say this guy was going in the root cellar, I would clip the top, like right here, so that I'm not damaging any part of this orange. Now, sometimes when I pull them out of the root cellar, a few of these leaves will be a little yucky, but the carrot is still intact. I don't break off anything on the side. I don't cut the root. I just leave it all intact. We do go ahead and wash it. What I have found is if you leave the dirt on it, it actually dries out the carrot and they get really rubbery. So gently wash it, dry it with a towel, look for any imperfections, like if I had happened to knock this off, then I would have an open wound right here, and then this will become a eat right away carrot as opposed to a storage carrot. So those are the things that we've learned that have kept our carrots storable for 6-7 months. And also when you're throwing some of them in the freezer that are shredded, then you don't worry about if you have some carrots that are imperfect, and go ahead and get those taken care of right away. Okay, there is our carrot harvest. Look at it, it's just like huge. That's awesome. Gonna be some really good eating this year. And there's really nothing left in this bed. Oh, found a weed. There's 2 weeds and a turnip. Okay, we're just going to leave this until we get ready to put the bed to bed, and I'll take my carrots in and then we'll get started on the broccoli. Okay, here we are in the broccoli. We're going to get our last harvest of these cute little florets, and then we will pull these plants out. Now, broccoli plants, they're like the favorite of the pigs. Oh my gosh, the pigs go nuts over them. So if you got any pigs, great place for them to go. Otherwise, they grow almost like a tree trunk, and they're going to be a little hard on the compost pile. So what you'll probably want to do is just strip off the branches and the leaves and then throw the trunk away. They're going to be a little hard to dig, so I'm going to harvest through the rest of this, and then I'll probably get the shovel out and we'll get these pulled up. Haven't sprayed BT in, what, a week or 2. Not seeing any critters. It's just getting too cold for them, which is fine by me. Okay, I think we got all the broccoli. That's about what we usually get, maybe a little bit more. We actually had some nice sunny days this week, so that will be delicious, and I will eat that this week. I'm going to go ahead and get the kale out, and we'll just pick everything, even the little guys today. And then we'll get the rest of the greens, and then we'll get the broccoli plants. Okay, here's our kale for the week. We picked everything, even the little guys, because these plants are coming out. Now, if you're going to just do part of your garden, the greens are a great thing to leave. The broccoli is a great thing to leave, because those are your cold weather plants. And these probably would have produced for me for probably another 4 weeks, maybe. But that's not what we're up to today. We're up to today is showing you how to put the garden to bed. So anyways, we picked them all. And, oh man, that smells good. Sometimes when the kale is really, really sweet, it smells like bananas. I don't know why. Okay, next is the Joy Choy. Same thing. We're going to just come and take all the leaves. Joy Choy is another great crop that you could leave a little longer in the garden. You could cover with some blankets if it's going to get cold, and you could probably get another 4 weeks out of it. So that's up to you as to how fast or how slow you want to take your garden out. Okay, here's our Joy Choy. We picked everything, even the little guys. So those plants are ready to come out. And next we're going to go ahead and get our Swiss chard, because we want to get all of the goodies out of the garden before we tear it out. So we'll take even the little leaves on these too. They're looking really good. I haven't seen leaf miner in a really long time, which is nice. Okay, here's our Swiss chard. We got a little extra this week because we picked everything. And then next I'm just going to start pulling these plants up. Ooh, maybe. It's going to be a two-handed job. There we go. They got kind of like a taproot. Look at that. That's beautiful. They are related to beets, so that's why you see that big root on there. Okay, out they come. We'll save the soil. Keep it in the bed. Okay, here we are in the broccoli. I got the other greens out, and I brought my shovel. We don't bring it to the garden very often, but I'm afraid these are going to be a little hard to get out. They've been here a really long time. So I'm going to just dig around them. And I don't very often stand in my garden either, but we may need to get these out. These are like removing miniature trees. Come on, baby. Oh, we got it. Okay, there's a broccoli plant. Now, if it's going to the pigs, you're in good shape. Just toss it in. Otherwise, go ahead and break off all these things, and you can compost this. I just wouldn't do this big woody thing. Unless you got like a shredder or something, then you could shred that and get that to go. There's nothing wrong with putting it in the compost. It's great compost material. It's just a little woody for most home garden composts. Okay, there's one. They put on a lot of material this year, didn't they? Now, if you're really hungry, all these leaves, you can actually eat these. Pretty good. Tastes like broccoli. Chewy like big kale, like the kale you would buy at the store. They saute really well, so you could get them and saute them. Hello, Mr. Big Worm. There's a ginormous worm coming out of the soil here. Try not to cut him with the shovel. They say if you cut a worm in two, you get two worms, but it's not true. You get two dead halves. So don't be cutting your worms in two. Okay, another broccoli tree. I'm gonna save your soil. Keep that in the bed. Okay. Okay, got another one. A couple little kale plants. Ooh, and looky there. We have a couple of dill plants. That came from our dill seed from the next bed over here. And those could go in our dill crock. So we're going to need those. Let's see how they taste. Oh, that's good. I'm going to save those. That's a treasure. Okay, back to broccoli. Broccoli trees. They've done an amazing job of feeding us all season. And this is about the hardest we'll work in this garden. That's not too bad, is it? They have those beautiful root systems. Great pig food. Oh man, they love these. So we grow probably 300 broccoli plants in a year. Oop, there's some food for me. And I'll take the broccoli plants, and it's way after Thanksgiving when we quit harvesting them. And then I'll just take and make a huge pile of just broccoli plants. And then every time I go down to the pigs, I'll throw in 3 or 4 a day until they're gone. Sometimes, it's clear into January before they're all gone. But they eat them. They don't care if they're frozen. They get a little soft, the leaves, but the stems stay really hard. And it's such a great treat for the pigs. Okay, there we are. Broccoli is out. Hey, I see an onion. Huh. Oh, I'll be. Looky there. There's one. 2 onions. That could go in my dill crock too. This is getting to be a lot of fun. Okay. All right. Put the broccoli in my tubs. And then we'll be ready for the butternut squash. That's going to be fun. Okay, here we are in the butternut squash. I have the pruners today because we're going to want to save the top of the stem. So what you're going to want to do, see, we come along here. You can either cut right across here, or I just cut the leaves that were attached to that. And butternut is kind of like the carrots. Any of the ones that are whole, in good shape, that are beautiful, we can save, and they'll keep for, 4 or 5 months. Any of the ones that we damage, like let's say we broke the top off and there's an open wound, we want to cook those probably within 10 days, and then we can just save the mushed up meat in a freezer bag. So you definitely want to store your best and eat the rest. We're going to come through here and just get them all out. Yummy. We're going to eat so good this winter, even though the garden's going to be to bed. We're still going to be eating from it. Man, those things are big. That's probably another 5-pounder. Okay, here are the immature squash, and any of these little guys you can eat just like summer squash. So you can slice these up and saute them. And remember, there was a zucchini plant in there, so I got a few zucchinis. This is our main crop here. I don't even know if I could pick that up. There is a lot of beautiful squash there. These ones that are, see, they're a little bit greener than the mature ones. The mature ones are pretty pink. I would eat these sooner than later. Save your really dark pink ones for later in the year. But these will still be good. There's still a lot of good stuff on them. So there it is. We'll get that weighed up. That's going to be a lot of weight. So next thing I want to do is come in here and start taking off clips, just like the cucumbers and the tomatoes. And still looking for squash bugs. We are clean. That is fantastic. It's so nice not to deal with those guys. But I'll be on the watch for them next year. It was just us picking a few and squishing them, and we got them under control. So pretty awesome. Okay, clips coming out. All right, I'm going to grab the last of these clips. Although I'll probably find a few more as I go. Come on, baby. Unhook. Okay. And then, we just want to get our scissors out. I want to hack this up. Probably want to cut these into like 1-foot lengths if you're going into your compost pile. Otherwise, they can go to the chicken coop, and the chickens will eat most of it. We'll get our strings wrapped up, and we'll thank the plants for the beautiful squash and get ready for next year. Okay, we got all of the squash out. It's down in these 2 buckets. This can go to the birds or the compost pile. And we found a pickle in there. This is actually what a pickle starts to look like as the seeds are ripening in it. And if we knew what kind of pickle it was, if it was a non-hybrid, we could actually save those seeds. Here's the seeds right here. These are actually starting to mature. I can smell it. It's kind of sour inside. But you could take these out. You could put them on, you rinse them, and then put them in a dish of water for about 2-3 days, and that helps break down the slime that's on them. And then you rinse them again, and you put them out on a paper towel on a plate and let them dry. And then you can do a germ test on these just like you did the lettuce. And then if you want to, you could try growing them. So, if you find weird things in the garden, it's okay to experiment with them. But that's something that you could do with this. I'm going to feed mine to the chickens or put it in the compost. That's the other option. Okay, last little garden, the lettuce. Now, if you were going to continue on, you would probably take the old ones out and let the younger ones grow, but we're going to take the whole garden out today. So I'm just going to use the scissors, and we're just going to cut across any of these that the leaves look good on. And we're just going to get our final lettuce harvest. And if you got too much lettuce, you can dehydrate it and add it to soups and crackers and things. If you're going to make some homemade crackers, you can do that. You can put it in your soup once it's dehydrated. Dehydrates really, really well. If you're really sneaky, you can put it in muffins and cookies. So everybody is still getting their greens, they just don't know it. Especially if you made like a chocolate cookie, I think you could totally hide a bunch of dehydrated greens in that. So anyhow, things to think about. So any of these that are stretchy, I'm not going to harvest because they're going to be bitter. Okay, out comes the lettuce. This was an awesome bed of lettuce. It produced about 1 to 2 pounds every week in and week out. So couldn't ask for any better. Okay, here's our lettuce harvest. There's just a little under a pound there, so that'll be delicious. We'll take that home, and then we're just going to start pulling plants out and getting this bed ready to go to bed. It's nice to have a nice clean garden in the spring when you want to get going. It's just pull the mulch and go. I'll show you in a little bit here. Okay, we are going to start to put the garden to bed, and then we'll take a look at our harvest. See how much we got. This is our firecracker plant, and I'm going to kind of baby it along just a little bit longer and see if I can get the rest of these to go to seed. It's telling me it's about done, but I'll see if I can get a few more seed off it. We'll see how that goes. Now, we've taken all of the trellises down, and all of the pieces are here in a pile, and then I will take those pieces and they'll go down to the garage for the winter time. The one thing I didn't do is I didn't take the pipes out of the beds. These are a little harder to set, so I'm going to leave these here for the winter. Now you can get a cap that you can actually put over this if you want to. That's probably a good idea. Keep the dirt out. And then we went out and we mowed the lawn. As you can see, it's fall here. We got lots of great leaves happening in the lawn. So what I want to do is just come and cover this bed with leaves. The beautiful thing about leaves is they have a lot of trace minerals. So the big trees, they have deep roots, and they can bring up minerals from deep in the ground and put that up in the leaves. So the leaves are really, really good for the garden. We want to put that on there. We also want to tend to our microbes through the winter. They will go dormant, get quite sleepy and not do a whole lot. But if the soil's above 40 degrees, they'll be active, and we want to give them some food. So we want them to have the leaves to eat. And the worms will actually take the leaves and they'll actually bury them down into the soil a little bit. So they'll cut off pieces of leaf and take that with them. And we want to keep the moisture in the beds so that we don't perish too many microbes. A lot of them can get fairly dry, but we just want to keep the moisture in here. I get a lot of people that ask me if I want to take all the dirt out and start over every year, and I'm like, no way, because this dirt has got our microbial base, it's got our minerals, and every year it just gets better and better. So I don't want to be taking it out. I actually want to be taking care of my soil so that it'll serve me for years and years and years. Some of my older beds, 30 years old, we're still using the same soil. So don't think you have to change your soil out. Besides, that would be expensive, so don't want to do that. Okay, and then the final thing that's going to go on your bed is what we call a cat guard. Now, if you have cats in your neighborhood, they love these beds. So a cat guard, you can use a piece of screen, a piece of fencing, you can use your weed barrier, your shade cloth. You can put anything over this and then just put some blocks or bricks on it, and that will hold the cover down and keep the cats out. So that's the final piece that goes over the bed. Okay, I'm going to go and get the leaves on all these beds and get them ready for bed. Okay, here's our harvest for the day. For the kale, we had 0.75 pounds. The Swiss chard, there was 0.97 pounds. The broccoli, we had exactly a pound. The zucchini, there was 11.65 pounds. On the lettuce, there was 1.7 pounds. And the cucumbers, there was 14.14 pounds. The Joy Choy, there was 0.62 pounds. The tomatoes, there was 21.22 pounds. So we'll eat those green ones and totally enjoy them. The turnips, there was 9.5 pounds. The turnip greens, there was 4.5 pounds. And the butternut squash, there was 53.16 pounds. There was a ton of butternut, and I'm going to eat it all. It's going to be awesome. The carrots, 31.92 pounds. And those little onions, there was 0.22 pounds of those little onions. So, our total, did we make our goal? Did we reach it? We'll take a commercial break. Oh, no, we don't do commercials. I forgot. Okay, that's the big reveal. I've been watching the RV shows, and that's what they do. Commercial. Okay, no commercials. Okay, we made $368.02 for the savings today. That put our year-to-date total at $3,017.62. So woo! We made over 10 times the cost of the course in one season. You got to witness the entire thing. You know you can do this, so it's time. It's time for you to get out and do this too. And then you can have all these beautiful things as well. We also calculated our the amount of money we made per square foot, and we made $23.57 per square foot. The other, we broke that record. The other record that we broke was total poundage for this garden ever. Our old record was 740 pounds. Our new record, 855 pounds. So we blew that record clean out of the water. Didn't break a sweat, didn't break a nail, didn't need a rototiller. This garden really rocks it. So anyways, there you go. You can do this too, just like I have. Okay, the last part of the harvest is our compost. There is 8 buckets of compost here. This I will chop up, blend, probably with some grass clippings, and maybe I'll go to the sheep barn and get some manure. That's always nice in there. And then this will make probably 2 of these big buckets of compost if I'm lucky, maybe a bucket and a half. And that should be enough to get the garden started next year. So this year's garden is going to start next year's garden. And the other harvest that I got, it was my firecracker seeds. I have a nice bag of firecracker seed. I've already planted some and they're doing fantastic. So thank you, little plants, for providing me with the seed for next year's crop. But we still have our garden gifts. So the garden gives us so much more than great food. The 33rd gift my garden gives me is hope. I can see a brighter, healthier future for us. We have the skills to grow amazing food, to share this food with those who can't grow anything, and to teach the next generation how to grow their own food so they can have the vitality, wealth, and abundance that we have. I feel hopeful that we can make a difference in this world and create a brighter, healthier future for all. So now that you've seen what is possible in a home garden, you will never look at your garden the same again. You will always know that it is possible to grow over 855 pounds of garden fresh vegetables that are worth over $3,017 in 128 square feet, right in your own backyard with only 15 minutes a day commitment. Now that you've seen this, you can't go back. So what's it going to be for you next season? Are you going to join us and grow a high-performance garden, or are you going to struggle along in your old garden? If you are ready to learn and get the support needed to build a garden like mine, then it's time to enroll in the Abundance Garden course. This course has all the details to get you up and running in one season. You can do this in one season. You can earn 10 times the cost that you're going to spend on the course. So, pretty good investment. So when you get the Abundance Garden course, you're going to learn the 8 keys to getting results just like I do. So first, you will get the family recipe for the secret soil mix so that your plants, they can thrive like these. You will learn how to make great compost so you can feed your garden for next to nothing. You will learn how to water your plants and how to conserve water. You will learn the techniques to have a weed-free garden. You saw that here, and there's a few other techniques to teach you, but you pretty much have it. You'll learn the specific growing techniques for 30 different plants. We only did about 12, maybe 15 plants this year. In the Abundance Garden course, we're going to teach you about 30 different plants. So you have the skill set for each type. You're going to learn the spring and the fall growing season extenders so you can have more production. And you'll learn how to decide how many of each plant to grow and when to plant each plant so you have better production and a manageable sized garden. 128 square feet, perfect for 2 people. You'll get a problem solver guide that will help you with the pests and diseases. Every area has a little different mix of pests and diseases. And we give you a guide so you can help figure out what's going on in your area. So also, when you enroll in this course, you're going to get the 10 basic episodes. That's got the planting, the watering, the pest identification, and the building the soil and more. You're going to get a 33-week vegetable journey, so it's another whole season going through this garden with different plants. You're going to get the problem solver guide, and this will help with all your pest diseases. And if you get stuck there, then we also teach you how to go to the next level, how to get local help, and how to get help from us. So you're never gardening alone, you're gardening with us. So you get the plant guide that covers all the details on all your vegetables. And you also get many bonus guides. We have a planning guide for your garden, like how to plant according to your season, how many plants of each type of plant do you need to put in for the number of people in your family. So we do all this to help boost your production throughout the entire year. And the best part of the course is that I work right alongside you. We find out how to tweak your system to your area. Together, we find your common pests, diseases, and unique growing needs, and we meet them. So you have contact with me, we email, we send pictures back and forth, and we get things solved for you. Because you're going to have a little different mix of what's going on in your garden than what I have here. So what is this type of education worth to you? As you have witnessed this year, we can earn 10 times the cost of the course in just one season. So what if you only did half as good? It's still a better investment with your money than the stock market. So what is it worth to you to be able to provide your family with fresh organic food and to teach your friends and family how to do this for themselves so they can have the savings and good food too? So just think about how you can pass this on to other people. So, will you leave the old traditional garden behind? Can you give up the back-breaking work and the heartaches? If so, then join me in the Abundance Garden by clicking in the description below. You can begin your high-performance garden journey now. Now is the time to get your education so you are ready when the season begins in the spring. So I look forward to seeing you there. Wow, what a difference we made in only 15 minutes a day. Over 855 pounds of the best food we could possibly feed our family and a savings of over $3,017. That's not small change. Just think what this world would be like if we all did this. What could we change? How could this world be a better place? This is the message that my father gave me to make this world a better place than when I arrived. So what would our world look like if everyone created most of their own nutrient-dense food right in their own backyards? What if these people shared their extra produce with the people who couldn't grow their own? What would this world be like? Just think of the impact we could have on the world's food supply if everyone that could would grow a garden in their backyard. So would you like to be a part of this new world? It all starts with you in your backyard. Once you've learned to garden, then share this with your friends and family and help others to get their garden going too. Here's the world I can see if we grew the majority of our own food in our backyard. The first thing that would happen is we would be a much healthier society. We would not require the overburdening healthcare system. Healthcare costs would go down. I see people living longer with more vitality than they ever could imagine. I see people with less stress and more peace in their life. I see older people spending time with younger people, teaching them how to grow their own food, teaching them to take a portion of the food they grew and give it to someone else, and sharing their story of how they grew the food. I see the teachers glowing with satisfaction as their students learn to grow proficiently and then turn around and share their knowledge with the next generation. I see a cleaner environment for all of us. With people growing the majority of their food in their backyards, we will have less trucks on the road, less pollution, less packaging, less food waste, and less in the landfills. I see cleaner air with less pollution and less carbon dioxide as the plants carry the CO2 down into their roots and store it in the earth. I see families with smaller budgets and tiny food bills. I see moms and dads not having to work as many hours to raise enough money to buy food for the table. I see moms and dads instead out in the garden with their children, teaching them how to grow amazing food and taking vacations with the money that they saved by growing their own food. I see more smiles as people enjoy the garden. I see people spending more time outside, away from the computer, out learning what it feels like to create something real, not something that is deleted with the press of a button. I'm proud to be the catalyst that starts this new revolution. When you join us, you will also feel the pride of doing something good for this world. Wow, how amazing would that feel? You can change the world starting in your backyard and then expanding out to help others in their backyard. This is how we can help this world, one garden at a time. So go out today and get your garden started by first learning the new skills you will need to grow a high-performance garden. And then build your garden beds. And when the time is just right, plant the garden, care for it, love it, and watch it thrive and create an abundance of joy, satisfaction, and amazing food. This is my legacy that I will leave behind. I will have changed the world one garden at a time by creating joy and satisfaction, health and vitality everywhere my teachings come in contact with another person. As for me, I will have 9,000 square feet of greenhouse space to keep going all winter. All the warm weather plants are coming out, and we are in the process of replanting all the greenhouses with our winter greens crops. I will be head first into all the garden catalogs that come in the mail, and I will be planning and plotting what I'm going to grow next year. And I'll be saying things like, well, next year I'm going to grow this over here, and I want to try this new vegetable in this garden. And the season will be here before we even know it. We'll have our plans in our hand and be ready for the date that we can start our plants. I can't hardly wait. It's been my pleasure and honor to grow alongside you this year. Now go out into this world and make it a little better by growing your amazing, awesome tasting organic, nutrient-dense food, and teaching a few other people to grow their own food too. Expand your garden and expand the mind of another person. Who will be next year that you teach about gardening? I'm really going to miss all of you, but I will be back next year with a High Performance Garden Show. There's so much more for you to learn. So until next time, may your garden be easy, fun, productive, and always organic.